Welcome into the ASUG News Studio. My name is Tom Wilgum. I'm co-editorial director of ASUGnews.com. Well, we've got an all-star panel here. Did I say all-star? All-star panel here talking about HCM, success factors, SAP HR. Can't wait to welcome into the studio, guys.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having us.
On my right here is Martin Gillet.
Morning.
Who is an independent SAP HCM consultant. Thank you. And a mentor as well, I should say. Steve Bogner, he is managing partner with Insight Consulting Partners. Steve, welcome.
Thanks.
And on the end is Jarret Pazahanick. He is with EIC Experts. And I'm sorry I didn't get your title. What is your title, Jarret?
Managing partner, practicing consultant. Thanks for having me.
All right, welcome
Operation
aboard.
of the brain.
Yes.
SAP mentor as well, so.
That's right, SAP mentor as well. I actually didn't think the numbers went that high. But gentlemen, last year, HCM, at this show, HCM was about as hot a topic as the color of my socks each day. This year, HCM is all over the place. It is one of the hottest topics. We had a great keynote by Lars Dahlgaard yesterday. Let's just start off, what's one thing that you're going to take away from this show about the HCM space that you would want ASUG members, SAP customers to know? Why don't we start with you? I'll put you on the hot seat first.
On the hot seat. So for me, the most takeaway for the customer would be basically the user interface. They have continued to renovate the interface, and it's getting even better with the new acquisition, not to name the SuccessFactors. So the main key takeaway, especially for ASUG customers and partners, is the UI renovation. It's something we've been waiting for and begging for decades. So finally, it's getting there. That's the main takeaway. Then of course you would have more takeaways. Perhaps you will take on that for the payroll side and also for the cloud and the mobility. Those are the main silos that we should look into for the next couple of years.
Okay. Steve, what about you?
Well, I agree with what Martin says, and I think I would add to that the innovation from SAP, they've stated that they will continue to innovate in core on-premise and SuccessFactors, Employee Central. They'll put a lot of development into that. But when you really look at what they're presenting here, it's clear to me that the real innovation, the true innovation, is really going to happen more in SuccessFactors than it will on-premise. So for clients, I would advise them to keep a real serious eye on SuccessFactors and the innovation there. And if you're on-premise now with SAP, consider that very seriously with any new investment, because the future for SAP HCM is in the cloud. And SuccessFactors here, what I've seen and what SAP's revealed, it just further confirms for me that if you want the long-term innovation, you should be looking at SuccessFactors.
Right. Jarret, actually I'll ask you a different question. Related to Steve's point though, you're a long time, if you're a long time core on-premise SAP HCM HR customer, are you thinking, hey, my roadmap just got blown up, or when you come see this, what would your console be, or what would you tell clients about that?
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time for HR customers. I think it can be an exciting time for guys like us. A lot of us have focused in the core for many years, and there's really going to be an opportunity there to start to work on changing our skill sets. I think it's pretty obvious here the commitment that SAP is making to the cloud. Other years we've been here, you've seen they'll step a little bit of a toe in the cloud world, but still really looking at that on-premise side. And when you hear that Lars has 5,000 people in his organization, when you meet him personally and you see the energy that he brings to the table, the world is changing. And the great thing for ASUG customers is it's really giving them a choice now. The cloud will be a good fit for some customers. On-premise is still going to be a good fit for a lot of customers as well. And just the most important thing is that customers are armed with information. Sessions like this are great, and the information is just going to help them determining what type of SAP solution meets their business needs the best.
Right. What about you, Martin? What's your take on the on-premise customers and their future now?
Well, I think the future is bright. It's even brighter. So this year is the big year, and I was so excited to be there. And I wish I would actually start my career now in SAP HR, because there's so much promises coming up.
Right.
And like you mentioned, there's a wide horizon opening up, and I was pretty much impressed by what's coming and what is released. So really, I'm looking forward to what's coming up.
Steve, we talked a little bit before about these, the demos yesterday. Lars, everything looks really easy.
Yeah.
What challenges would you like to highlight that customers need to really think about when they are going to try maybe a new cloud offering, but they still want to hook it back in? We're talking maybe some integration issues as well. What one challenge, one or two things you'd have on top of mind?
Sure. The demos always look good, and as practicing consultants, the three of us have always focused a lot on actually making that happen. And it always takes more to make it happen than what it appears at first. So I think that as companies get larger, their processes get more complex. And so easing the technology burden for an implementation is great, and that goes away. But we still have a lot of process complexity to deal with. And that work doesn't go away, or change management, or training and testing, things like that. That still remains. So my advice to customers is to consider the cloud, network with ASUG. ASUG's a great resource for clients, okay? The networking and the benchmarking you can get through ASUG is tremendous. So network with your ASUG peers and see what was a SaaS implementation for them like? What did it look like? What was the resourcing? What did the project look like? And also, talk with SAP and talk with other clients and really do some good due diligence on what does it take for my company in particular to move a set of HR processes into a cloud application.
Yep, definitely. My colleague Courtney, who's not here, she had written recently about the core renovations that are coming. So I'm sure if SAP person was here, they'd be like, hey, hold on-premise is great, we've got all these great things. Do you think SAP, and I'll throw it to Jarret, has put enough emphasis on really these renovations? Is this going to be enough to say, yes, there is other focus, not just on the cloud now?
I mean, I've been fortunate enough to work with the SAP team on it's going to be called the Core Renewal. It used to be called the Core Renovation Project, and that project actually started well before the SuccessFactors merger. And so some of the, one of the complaints customers have had for years is the development cycles are too long in the SAP world, and being on the ground, I mean, that's a valid concern. The development cycles were too long, and I think for many years, SAP was gaining market share with things like, PeopleSoft getting bought by Oracle. There was a real opportunity, and SAP was winning a lot of work, so they sort of focused on other areas, and they didn't bring, for a period of time, as much value as I think a lot of ASOG customers would like to the product. And but I think that the Core Renewal it's really an excellent offering. What they're really doing there is they're taking personal administration and org management functionality, putting a new UI around it. It's going to be a lot easier for administrators to use. It's HTML5. It's with Enhancement Package 6. So it's a good thing. The last I heard, it's going to be in 3 releases in 2012, and the last one in 2013. So, when customers will say like, well, I'm not getting any more innovation in the core, SAP will have a window for probably a year or two where they'll say, wait a sec here, guys. We just delivered all this functionality. And something that Steve and I talk about a lot is that SAP really has delivered some functionality over the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, so I mentioned that it was slow on the innovation for a while, but when competitive threats like Workday came in, SAP did get more of a focus and a lot of innovation that customers don't know about. So they've seen a demo from 5 years ago on compensation, for example, and now they have that vision in their head of what that product looks like, and the product is totally different now. Some of the offerings that people don't think are that good are really solid offerings in the marketplace.
That's true.
Yeah, I think we need to give them a lot of credit, and successors of David Ludlow have done a good job, but David has also put some pressure and emphasizes to do that. He's been delivering and providing a lot of feedback regarding the renovation, the different silos they were investing in. So really SAP is doing for the moment a great job. The only constraint that we could have is the pace, time to market to deliver the enhancement package, the add-ons, etc. But otherwise, the content-wise, I think we're pretty much happy with what's inside.
Yeah, and one thing I want to just mention, it was mentioned today in the keynote, is SAP starting to do a great job with co-innovation. You have Sherry Meyer, the ASOG HR chair, her organization has been actively involved in that, and she's been here spreading the gospel on that. But really, what it is, it's SAP working with customers. So for many years, what SAP would do is they knew what the market wanted. So they would deliver the software, and then in various iterations, customers would say, this is what we really want. Right. And now they're starting to work with the customers. And the great thing about that is when customers are engaged early on in the process, they become evangelists out in the community. They're telling people how good it is. And it's better because the software is more what businesses want. And, and SAP hasn't publicized that enough, but they're doing that across the board and actually working with not only customers, they're working with thought leaders. And I would just really recommend that the ASOG members go out, talk to their SAP account reps, find out what is on the roadmap and get engaged, because if you're in early on, you're going to be able to influence the roadmap, you're going to meet product managers, you're going to get a product that you can use day one a lot easier.
Right. So. Steve, are you, you know, we've always heard about innovation without disruption with this new enhancement pack strategy. Do you think that actually will happen for customers, that they'll be able to get this new and it will be?
No, not in short, no. I think that innovation does bring disruption, and I think that the amount of disruption will vary from client to client. You know, if a client hacks up their system with all sorts of modifications and customizations outside the standard framework that SAP provides, then your enhancement packs do become more difficult, right? If you have not done a lot of intensive customization, if you've stayed within a nice, narrow framework, then the enhancement packs are not as big of a deal. But they still do bring change and disruption because they bring along new business processes, they bring along enhancements, which is what they're supposed to do. So, so that's a good thing. Not all disruption is bad, but disruption does have to be planned for. The type of disruption I think that we're seeing less and less of is where you put on a change from SAP and something actually breaks. That doesn't happen near as much as it used to a long time ago, which I've been doing this for a long, long time. So that's good. SAP has increased their delivery quality, which is great. But still, the innovation with disruption, I think from an on-premise model is very difficult to achieve.
Right. Well, gentlemen, we're almost out of time. I'm going to give you each 20 to 30 seconds just to say, ASUG member watching this, SAP customer, what's your one piece of advice or your one rule of thumb to give them when they're thinking about their future HR strategies with SAP in mind? And I'll start with Jarret.
Okay, excellent.
I'll give you the last word.
He wanted 20 minutes to think.
That's why I sat in the middle.
Remember, I'm 20 seconds, that's it.
Okay, the biggest thing is to stay informed. So there's lots of tools out in the community to stay informed. We do a podcast series. You have your ASUG community. You have the SAP Community Network. There's just lots of tools at your disposal. Use them all. Figure out what type of strategy makes the best sense for your business, because it really is a changing landscape, and what we're hearing today is going to be different 3 months from now.
All right.
So I would say focus on business processes. Whether you stay on-premise or go into the cloud, the difference is in your business processes. Everyone's getting the same technology, so focus on cleaning up your business processes and question those things that you do unique that the software doesn't support. Because if that software works for everyone else, why can't you fit into it?
Right. Great. Martin.
I concur with us, with what they said. So engage, stay informed, technology-wise, take the time to make the assessment technology-wise, functionality-wise, and also engage with people. So ASUG is a great platform, a great community. Engage with the SCN community, engage with the SAP mentor community. It's to know about what SAP will deliver, what it can be done, and then from there, take on and deliver. It's an outstanding product.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
It was great.
Check out asugonline.com for more videos, as well as asugnews.com, and thank you very much for watching.